central banks globally, they've been massively accumulating gold. Gold is completely out of the system. It doesn't need anybody to say that it's money. And according to the Bank for International Settlements, gold held at home runs no political risk. It is the only financial asset that runs no counterparty risk. We can look at the countries that are right now rapidly accumulating gold, like China and Russia and India and Kazakhstan, et cetera, et cetera. And we can also see where the fault lines are between countries that are taking sides. And really what it means, if you don't hold gold and the global fiat money system hyperinflates away, whoever does hold the gold, number one, can have the wealth transfer their way, but they're the ones that hold power and choice. And we all see that there is a shifting of power from the West, the US, et cetera, to the East, China, India, Russia, the BRICS nations, et cetera. So what it means is that they just won't hold any power. That's actually what it means, whoever doesn't have gold. This is not your debt that I have to count on you to pay, right? It runs no counterparty risk. It's a proven inflation hedge over time. And, gold is critical for you to have completely outside of the system, because look at this little teeny thing. And this is a 1 ounce gold coin. And it's an easy way to carry a lot of wealth in a small little package that truly is outside of the system that I hold and I own outright. It's critical. Whether you believe in gold or you don't believe in gold, this is the primary currency metal. And when they do those overnight resets, they take this that has no intrinsic value and they revalue it based on how much of this they printed to the gold. It is a true portfolio diversifier. You want to take some risk? Okay. You do whatever you're comfortable with. That's what everybody needs to do. But quite honestly, have a foundation of real money that is outside of the system, that is in your possession. Because regardless of your perception, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. So, I really have a whole mantra to it because, people will say, well, you can't eat gold. Well, you're not eating this either, but you'll be able to convert. Well, I use silver for barterability, but you want to be as secure as possible and independent. So food, water, energy, security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, and shelter. These are the things that we need to make sure are secure and surrounding us. And maybe community is the single most important part of that, because one person can't do everything, but you really need to be as independent as possible, because if all your money is held in a system and this dollar goes away, then you are completely dependent and you lose all your choices. Gold is the primary currency metal. And it's the metal against which they revalue currencies when they do an overnight reset. Silver is the secondary monetary metal. While both of them are used in manufacturing, silver has a lot more manufacturing use. Gold does not get used up in production. In industry, it's all recoverable. So we can account for about 98% of it. All the gold that's ever been mined in thousands of years, silver gets used up. So you will see silver move toward its fundamental value along with gold. What people don't realize is that everything has a life cycle, and currencies are no different than that. And there are recognizable patterns that we can see all along the way, but there is not one doubt in my mind. First of all, officially, there's roughly 3 cents in purchasing power left out of the currencies, out of the original dollar's worth of purchasing power. So what happens when you get to zero? You have to go negative. They have to take your principal. And haven't they been testing that since 2009? For one thing, people have the assumption that when they make a deposit, that's their money, but it's not. When you make a deposit, legally, you are loaning your money to the bank. And in 1995, they enacted Regulation D, which legalized and enabled the banks to sweep your deposits into sub-accounts that are in the bank's name, and then use that as collateral for loans. And, frankly, most of the revenue that the banks generate right now is trading revenue, according to the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. So that just enabled them to reduce their reserves and to use your money to gamble with. You don't even realize it because it's invisible. And I would like to say that even when we go into the digital currency, the digital dollar, people will think, oh, well, then that's going to fix the system. But no, because they're not going to change their behavior. What absolutely 100% has to happen is that all of the debt that we've accumulated, the trillions and trillions and trillions of debt that has been globally accumulated, needs to be burned off. And that's what the hyperinflation is really about, is burning off all of that debt. And then it becomes obvious to everybody that the dollars, euros, yen, whatever it is, that they have absolutely zero value. And remember right now, central banks are raising interest rates to fight the inflation that they cause by their reckless money printing, right? Absolutely. And, and by the way, even though this says this is prop money, what are the ones that are issued by the governments? It's garbage. Right. Gold is real money, right? Everything else is just an imitation of it. But what we're seeing in the banking system is as they raise the interest rates, the system is falling apart because it's really been based upon a never-ending compounding of debt. So what will happen is we'll go into hyperinflation mode, and then people will lose complete confidence in the currency, in the system, and they'll stop using it. And they'll go to a barter system. So you'll get real local for a while. That's where silver really comes into play. And then you'll see gold, like in Venezuela, it went up overnight like 3,500%, something like that. And Venezuela has had now 3 overnight revaluations against gold. So they do that to gain the public confidence again, but they won't change behavior yet. Globally, on average, it takes them doing it 3 times before then they go into a system where we actually would have gold to a degree backing the new currency.